We've heard a lot of stories about the lack of PPP. Three, two, and one. We've heard a lot of stories about the lack of PPE out there. And joining us right now is Danny Beasley, the founder of Idea Builder Labs. And Danny's doing something about it. And before we get into that, let me just ask you, for people watching right now, Idea Builder Labs, what is it you guys do?
Wasn't this? Sorry, I froze there real quick. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
it's okay. We can do it again.
I,
No problem.
I missed it.
Let me just reintroduce you. Okay, three, two, and one. All right, a lot of stories out there about the lack of PPE. We've done plenty of them, and there's a lot of people doing something about that, including Danny Beasley, the founder of Idea Builder Labs. He joins us right now. And before we get into what you're actually doing, Danny, to help out, for those who don't know Idea Builder Labs, your company, what is it you guys do?
On We're doing a few things. We concentrate primarily on developing fab labs and maker spaces for education, which is kind of like high-tech shop programs. We're teaching people modern-day manufacturing skills through kind of open, engaging opportunities. In addition to that, I also help co-lead an initiative for the city of Oakland called Fab City Oakland, which sets a audacious goal of becoming a city that produces everything that it consumes by the year 2054. So there's a lot of relevance to stepping up to the plate right now with PPE and manufacturing this locally.
Yeah, is there a particular story that kind of just caught your ear or something you saw that said, you know what, I need to do something about this?
Not necessarily. As soon as the word got out that people were 3D printing parts for face shields and engineering, oxygen concentrators and ventilators and things like that, my phone started blowing up. Um, So it took me about 3 to 4 days of trying to ignore everyone hitting me up and saying, hey, guess what? This is your ball of wax. You have the machines. Can I get access? What are you doing? After about 3 to 4 days of dodging everyone, I decided I couldn't do that anymore.
Yeah, and and specifically, I've noticed when it comes to face shields, you've dove right in. I mean, it tells the process here. You're working, or you're getting plastic bottles from Coke and somehow turning those, excuse me, into face shields.
So I quickly jumped online and jumped into some of and I was able to identify a person on the East Coast that set up a connection to Coca-Cola. I also set up a facility here in Alameda, a local business called Hot Rod Shop. I knew they had a half-empty warehouse and said, hey, if I can bring in some bulk materials, can I use your facility to receive that? I put up that lightning rod and said, guess what? I've got a logistics facility here in Alameda in the Bay Area, and we can bring in bulk materials and get that out. Uh, that lightning rod was good enough to get the attention of this gentleman named Bill, who had Coca-Cola's attention, and he was then able to drive in order to begin turning into face shields. In addition to that, I helped go in and kind of rally up and bring together a bunch of individuals that were working on producing face shields at the time. And so I identified about 10 different teams. I was working to kind of help them understand each other and what each other is doing in that process.
Yeah,
And then when it came time for Coke to say, hey, guess what? I got plastic coming your way. I already knew the places for it to go.
yeah. When you talk about how much plastic, I mean, how many pounds, and then translate into the how many face shields are you actually producing?
Yeah, so this first batch of plastic we got was a little more than a week ago. Right now, every day feels like a month. The amount of activity and energy that's going in. But we received, and I was also able to identify another 800 pounds that I got from another company called Bolt Threads. Uh, we quickly converted that. Most of it was converted within about 48 hours into 16,000 face shields.
Wow, amazing. Big number.
Uh,
I mean, where are these shields going? Do you get to pick and choose where you send them, or do you just send them to one big organization or hospital?
we're distributing them all over the Bay Area. I've got a large team that's kind of spun up, with me and doing all this work, and so we've been aggregating a list of all the PPE demands from hospitals, from nursing homes, from homeless shelters, police departments, cities, all those entities. So we've got a list much longer than we can satisfy of demand. For me to not sleep and get lots of energy out is tomorrow we have over 40,000 pounds of plastic coming from Coca-Cola.
My God. And when you mention all those entities, are you seeing a bigger demand in certain areas or aspects? I mean, I would think hospitals probably are number one, and I mean, but they may all be out there.
Yeah, definitely hospitals are the number one. A lot of nursing homes and other facilities like that have been used as overflow for moving sick patients into it. So they need them just as much as the hospitals. And we've got a wonderful nurse on our team, and she's, we were trying to get stuff in the hands of nurses as much as we could, but she really basically said, no, 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 if you can get this out into the people before they get to the hospitals, let's prevent them from going to the hospitals because Um, so we're trying to get it out there. But I got an email yesterday from someone who's running a hotel that's being converted into a homeless shelter,
Yeah.
um, and they were not provided any PPE whatsoever. And so they put in an order yesterday for 200 face shields because they're trying to prevent their staff from getting sick in the first place, not just inside the hospitals.
Here you are, Danny, getting all these requests from all over. I mean, beyond the Bay Area, I guess. And but I'm curious, are you getting other requests as well? Go, hey, we love that you're making face shields, but can you make this or can you make that?
Yeah, and that's something that was kind of unique with myself and my group is that there are people that have spun up kind of face shield operations, face masks. We need beds. We need other things out there. It was kind of said the group said, well, we concentrate on face shields, so please take that somewhere else. And so I, with the assistance of a lot of people, have set up another kind of Slack team project where we are trying to aggregate all of the demand. And though we can't satisfy all of the demand, it helps make us a lot smarter about what in fact is happening.
Yeah.
Something I didn't expect at all is that there is a run on spun cotton. And I don't have a solution for that, but to understand how deep the problem really goes in the first place.
Hey, big learning experience for you in doing all this. I think, I can't imagine, and I think it's great. But you're also teaching others that are working with you about the importance of helping out. I mean, I understand that some of the people that work with you are fairly young, kind of out of college, and getting their hands in the mix here.
Yeah, there's definitely a diehard group of people that I don't have to educate whatsoever, because they're already here and committed just as much than I am. But yeah, one really great thing that I've been able to do is that two of the facilities that I have, the Fab Labs that I've developed at Laney College and College of Alameda, we bring on staff and student staff. We hire them on there. At this point, we have almost every single person that I've ever paid to work in one of those facilities here on the front lines, helping us manage some portion of this operation.
Yeah. Hey, looking forward down the road, whenever is all over, does your business strategy as a business owner change the way you work, maybe what you create, and trying to? I mean, I'm just thinking about the governor yesterday talking about the future of schools and what classrooms may look like and how separated desks would be. But I'm just curious, since I have you as a business owner, how does your company, how do you look out at the future, and does anything change?
Uh, I think everything's going to change, and it's really unfortunate because the facilities that I develop are extremely hands-on, and it's about putting bodies in the room to get the real value out of them. So the model of the way those facilities need to operate need to evolve and change. But one additional thing that we're kind of working on in parallel right now is I've got a cooperative staffing agency called Turning Basin Labs that I had been working with before all of this happened. We are kind of running a conversation in parallel about how do we actually take these existing activities and turn that into a cooperative business so that we can actually begin to provide direct compensation to the people who are putting all of their energy in now. And we're also, knowing that PPE is a short-term need, and short-term maybe months, but it's still short-term. But how do we take this idea of this kind of distributed manufacturing network that we have set up, especially with a lot of at-home activities, and how do we pivot that and look at what are other things that can be manufactured in a similar way that, this may be one of the only ways that we have to manufacture certain goods because we can't put lots of people inside of a factory.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, a lot of people during this crisis are stepping up to the plate. Danny Beasley, you're one of them. So we appreciate you doing what you're doing and helping out all those who need that PPE. And keep charging, stay safe, and we appreciate the time.
Yeah, and I just want to just really say thank you to
Of
some
course.
Port teams. And there's the Port Product Lab at Port Workspaces here in Oakland. Ace Monster Toys is doing some amazing stuff. They're really guiding and directing all of our mask making activities. Neil's CNC in Hayward, they've been making face shields for a while. Moxie in Oakland, both of the Fab Labs, the colleges are doing a lot. The city of Alameda is extremely supportive of all of these efforts. And I'm sorry for all of the other folks, like Maker Nexus, Helpful Engineering. There's a bunch of people. This is definitely not an individual activity. This is by far a team activity.
It's a team activity. It's a country coming together to do what we can, and really a world, for that matter. Danny Beasley, founder of Idea Builder Labs. Danny, thanks again. I appreciate the time.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.